Next up is a better way to sleep comfortably in the great outdoors.
Sorry about that, Sharks. It's just way too cozy in here. Give me a sec while I jump out. Hi, my name is Murray, and I'm seeking $75,000 in exchange for 5% of my business, Hele Outdoors. Sharks, car camping is more popular than ever, and van life looks so cool online, but the reality is most people want the freedom and the adventure of van life, but they can't afford the cost or the commitment until now. Introducing the Hele Box, a lightweight car camping system that transforms your daily driver into a cozy cabin on wheels in minutes. Everything compacts into that sleek case so you can easily set it up for the relevant weekends and, of course, adventures, and then conveniently pack it away once you need to get your daily driver back.
That's it. That bag was small.
All the legs on the Hele Box are independently adjustable, so you can set it higher for more storage, lower for more headroom, but most importantly, level out any uneven surfaces in your vehicle. You can also remove the platform from the vehicle and use it as a table for camping, cards, cooking, and of course, creating new memories. When you own a Hele Box, adventure is much closer than you think. Now, which shark or sharks are coming along for the ride?
All right.
And we are back with another reaction video. I am your host, Dave, a 10+ year intellectual property attorney dealing with everything from copyright, trade secrets, trademarks, as well as patents. And look, I actually like this one. I think, to Murray's point, it has a lot of different use case situations. Obviously, the main thing is kind of setting up shop in your car. Now, I'm not the camping type. To the extent that I go camping, I want to be in a building with heat, AC, preferably appliances, that type of a thing. However, to the extent that you are big on going camping and don't want to spend the funds on an RV or a tent or whatever the case may be, then I can see this thing being good. I will say, and I've never said this up until this point in time, I think your pitch or your ask could make the difference, because the Sharks have said it a lot of times where they don't like 5%. And typically you'll see companies say, I want $200,000-$300,000 for 5%, which that's definitely a turnoff. But as opposed to saying I want $75,000 for 5%, I would have said, give me $150,000 for 10%. It's the same valuation, $1.5 million valuation. But I think it's kind of a little bit more, okay, the Sharks, 10%, because they're going to go up anyway to 15 or 20%. So I think it just kind of, it makes the pitch or the offer or just kind of the back and forth negotiation a little bit more palatable, if that's the correct word. Because again, they're going to go up to 20% or whatever the case may be. You don't want to get them, you don't want the Sharks to get hung up on that 5% number to say, okay, you already so low, 75,000. I can give you 75,000, but I want 20%, or to say, no, the 5% is just way too low for me to be interested in, especially a product that's kind of, or a category that's, it's not as big of a category as some of the other things that you will get out there. So that's kind of my 2 cents as it relates to the offer. Now, the 3 other things that I look for, plus the bonus one, is simple. It seems like it's simple based on his description of it. How effective is it? Like I said, the effectiveness can be told by the sales or the reviews. $1.5 million valuation. I would imagine that he has some sales on this thing. Then what's the market like? He talked about it. I'm not a big camping person, but I can see a lot of people, talking about van life and wanting to go camping and things like that. And I do think this is pretty big for that, and being able to do it in a comfortable way, however, in a cheaper way, because RVs and tents and all that stuff can cost money. So I do think this has a market, and I don't kind of see anything that's kind of comparing out there as far as the market goes. It looks like this thing got to turn into like a twin bed or in between of a twin and a full, so you get 2 people on there. So shouts out to that. And then the last but not least, the intellectual property. Are you protecting the IP? Now, he has a trademark on Hele Outdoors, Hele Outdoors. So shouts out to Murray on that. Now, whether or not he has a patent on it, that remains to be seen. A lot of times, lawyer's the one that's going to ask about the patent if the inventor doesn't come out and say it already. So, man, shouts out to him. And hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Hit that subscribe button and be a part of the IP community as we get back to it and see if this gentleman gets a deal. Let's go.
What is the topper that's on top of that?
That's actually the magic in the Hele Box. So what this is right here, this is our inflatable pad that goes on the top of it. It's a hybrid of air and foam, so you can set it to be more plush or more firm, depending on how you like your bed.
Murray, let me ask you a question. Yeah. By the time you're sleeping in your car alone, something bad has happened to you.
Oh, no, not in my eyes. So car camping and van life has become an extremely popular subject. We all know how big the camping industry is.
Yes.
About 53% of campers who go out camping would actually prefer to sleep in their vehicle.
For sure.
Your vehicle is the best tent in the world. It's a metal box. You can't beat the comfort of sleep or the safety aspect of it as well.
I gotta tell you, when I want to go fishing, I'd rather not have a hotel and all that. I want to be right there near the water. Yes. So 5 a.m., I'm set up and I'm ready.
You're speaking my language. I feel the same way on the water.
How did you come up with your idea?
I was born and raised on the North Shore of Oahu. And growing up as a kid, when that final school bell rang, you know, all I cared about is where I was going fishing, surfing, or camping for the weekend. So that's where I fell in love with the outdoors. And then life happens, things start stacking up, and the outdoors and adventures start feeling further and further away. And so when I moved to Colorado, I wanted to bring the outdoors back into my life. And I thought that car camping would just be the best way to do it. And so I started looking for a lightweight system that I could easily set up in my truck and then take out, and nothing out there existed. So I started working on sketches and prototypes. And then a week after I finished my first fully functioning prototype of a Hele Box, I got laid off.
Wow.
And so I took their severance package, emptied out my 401k, and put a ton of hard work into launching this business and chasing my dream of becoming an entrepreneur.
How much did you put into the business so far?
My own personal cash is $43,000.
No, that's not bad.
Completely bootstrapped. I'm a 100% owner. Haven't taken on any investment.
Does it fit in any SUV?
It fits in just about any SUV, truck, or van out there on the market today.
What does it cost for you to make it, and what do you sell it for?
So the solo version costs us $105 to make, and we sell it for $399.
It's a good price.
The duo version sells for $499, and it costs us $117 to make.
And duo is the one.
Margins.
So Murray, the whole deal's finding the customer out there. Social media, right?
Social media has been awesome
like
for us.
Because you're selling it direct to consumer.
All direct to consumer on our website.
So
And what
now
are your
about the
sales?
sales.
Our first fiscal year, so fiscal year 2024, was $193,000.
Good for you.
Year to date, we're at $465,000 in sales with a runway to get to $1 million.
I love
And how much
this,
are you spending
man.
on advertising in order to get that 465K?
Yeah, so about 65% of our customers actually come organically. I built our social media profile. We've got 30,000 followers, multiple videos that have over 1 million views.
Well, content is king in this space because car camping culture is so strong.
Exactly.
There's so many influencers who are just sleeping in their vans all around the world.
Yep.
If you tap into that, you don't need to spend any money on advertising.
How do you arrive at 5%?
Yeah, well, I guess on the valuation of the business, knowing that we could do, you know, the $1 million in sales today.
What do you think you'll do next year?
Next year, getting our supply chain organized and ready to go, I think we can do up to $4 million.
So is it just money you want from the Sharks?
It's the partnership.
Now you want money and you want us to work also for 5%?
You're buying a job.
I told you.
Yeah, we're buying a job here.
The biggest challenge for us has actually been in the supply chain management side of the house, but keeping up with it has been the biggest challenge.
Murray, can I chime in here? I really like you, but I think you're too early to bring on an investor. I'm out.
Hey, man, and as Ray Sean goes out, I like what this gentleman is doing, man. Murray, 2024, and look at this. A great poet this past week said, things don't happen to you, they happen for you. The fact that he got laid off, which kind of really forced him to go all in on this thing. Again, things don't happen to you, things happen for you. And I think this is a great example of that. Started this thing 2024, just shy of $200,000. Last year, 2025, he did just shy of $500,000. Second year of business, and then next year, he's thinking that he could get a $4 million. I think with the van life as well as the prices or the cost of living, I can see this thing being a home run. I kind of disagree with Ray Sean as far as he's too early. It seems like he needs some help from a supply chain issue, and if you need help, you need help. Again, as I told you earlier, Dame and the Sharks can get caught up on, 5%. You want us to kind of do all this work for 5%? So that can kind of be a bottleneck to Sharks. That's why I would have liked 150,000 asked for 10%, because they're going to go up to 15, 20% anyway. And it just kind of feels a lot better for them. So again, that's kind of my 2 cents on that, and I knew that was going to come up at some point. But man, I love what Murray is doing. I absolutely love it, and I think the American dream is alive and well. Let's get back to it to see if the gentleman gets a deal. We're 2 for 2 so far, man. So hopefully we can make it a perfect 3 for 3. Season 17 episode. I forget what it is. Episode 15. Let's go.
You made a very compelling pitch. Unfortunately, it's just not a product that I want to invest in. So I wish you good luck, but I'm out.
All right. Thanks so much, Lori. Appreciate it.
It's a great business for you. If I ever end up sleeping in my car, something went really wrong. And so I don't even want to think about it. I'm out.
All right. Thanks, Kevin.
I do know this space because I invested in a great company. They're burning up the turf called Boho Camper Vans.
Yeah.
They've already hit $15 million in sales and spent 3 years. At first, I thought, why would I be interested in a cameraman? I've never camped in my life. But what I was able to introduce to them is marketing. I'll offer you $75,000 for 20%.
I told they going to do the crazy offer.
Thank you so much, Barbara, for that offer. As you know, only get one shot up here. It's my Super Bowl.
There you go.
So I want to be respectful to Damon.
You know,
Oh,
you
he
want
doesn't like
Sharks
when
to
you
work for
ignore
you.
him.
If you look at the just number, if I bring down your manufacturing cost 15%, if I go and help you sell into big box, that's another 6 or 8% you would have been giving a salesperson. Already, I'm at 20%. I didn't even have to give you any money. I can be at 20%. So that's the problem where you said it. But I'll offer you $75,000 for 25%.
You're basically getting a co-founder, which is kind of what you need, someone to help you scale this thing.
Yeah.
They can't just give you money and you're going to go out and execute these things in the same timeline that you would execute it with them. It's just my 2 cents.
Thanks so much for that.
You got 2 offers. That's pretty good.
I'll
Yeah.
land on
I'm
15%.
ecstatic about them. That being said, that is more of the business than I'd be willing to give up, and that's just what my gut's telling me.
What's your counter?
Would either of you be willing to do $150,000 for 10% of the business?
Oh,
The same thing.
Absolutely not.
same valuation.
No way.
I think the valuation is so important to me just because of the amount of work that's been put into
Well,
this
no,
company.
you don't
and
have
building
to
this
take
brand.
either offer.
Do you want the Sharks to work and help you, or do you just want their money and for them to be silent partners?
I would love to have a shark working with me.
So money is worth something.
Yes.
Work is worth something. You're only factoring in the money part. You're not factoring in the work part.
Say 15%. I'm not going to do it for 15%.
Thank you all so much.
Before you decide not to take any deal, I'll change my terms.
Ooh.
Because I think it's important for you to have the money to expand as much as is probably more important than having a partner, is my read on you. So I'll give you $75,000 in cash for the stock, $75,000 credit line, and I want 20%.
I absolutely want to partner with you, and I think we could do big things together and have a lot of fun while we do it. I feel like I can't do the 20%, but if you'd meet me in the middle on your first offer, I'll do $75,000 for 12.5%.
You got it.
Oh, nice.
Barbara like that
Thank you
deal,
so
man.
Congratulations.
Thank you guys so much.
All right, have a good one.
Get on the gun.
Oh my goodness. It was worth it to give the extra equity to Barbara because she believed in my business. I know that we can work together and take Hele Outdoors to the next level, and she'd be the perfect partner to do that.
And shouts out to Murray on that one. I thought it was going to be one of those things, just land at 15%. He got an extra 2.5% out the deal. It's one thing about Barbara's. Obviously, she's already turned the company. I think she said what? I forget what they were making millions of dollars, 14, I think, million in 3 years. I think Barbara invests in things that she understands. Damon was not too excited about the deal. Barbara loved the deal, and she was willing to make something happen for the deal. I think Barbara thinks that she can get this to $14-15 million, and now you're making what? You got 12%, $1.2 million on a $75,000 valuation, or $75,000 turns into $2 million. She likes that because she understands the space, and she's already did it with another company. So shouts out to Barbara on that, man. Let's take a look at the website here really quickly before we call it quits. We 3 for 3, man. We rocking and rolling. Patches didn't come up. Kind of disappointed in that one, to be honest with you. But I wouldn't be surprised if he has some type of system, a patent on the system, on the bed system for a vehicle. Let's go here. He has a trademark on Hele Outdoors, so I'll put an R in a circle there. Shark Tank, Gear Junkie outside. And hey, that double, that boy sweet. Now, I'm talking about from the margins, $117 for $500. And people are going to pay it because it's a lot cheaper than an RV or whatever the case may be. Look, you can put the dog in that joint. So this joint can really fit 2 people as well as a dog. To the extent that he has a pan, I would like to see it at the bottom. Let me see if I can do a Control F. Yeah, nothing is coming up. Man, shouts out to Murray nonetheless. I like what he has done there. If he can get the margins down a little bit more in terms of, it seems like he's not spending a ton on advertising. If he can get the manufacturing costs down, which I think Barber's going to be able to help him, he can get even more profit from it. And yeah, man, I just think the American dream is alive and well. I can see this thing selling for $15-20 million at some point, and him getting a $15 million check within 5 years. I think that's very possible in this business. So shouts out to him. And hey, man, the American dream is alive and well. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Hit that subscribe button to be a part of the IP community. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Guys, take care. Peace.